Welcome to Ferra Films. Today we have Joey onto the podcast for this episode.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. So first, you want to introduce yourself, just in case some people don't know you.
Sure. So my name's Joey Deutsch. I'm a freelance visual effects artist from Ohio, from around Westchester, Cincinnati area, and I've been freelancing for about a year now, full time. And I've been doing it for a few years, like on and off, and just as a hobby. But now I'm actually getting paid gigs, and things are working out. And I've collaborated with the Film Riot guys, so yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like I've seen like a lot of your work, and dude, this is awesome. Like a lot of VFX work you do. Like
Thanks, man.
I'm still in love with the visual effects work you done with like ballistic and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like a really fun project to work on. Yeah.
yeah, and funny story before we start like the whole conversation. When I was making all the questions, I was jamming out to like your music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on your YouTube. So I was like, I had
Oh,
that in the
mashup
background, and I
stuff.
was like coming up with like questions. I figure that's a yeah.
Yeah, that's the mashups are like a really fun thing that I've been doing.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite part about like visual effects, and what's your least?
Well, I think the least favorite part is like rotoscoping. I think everybody says that though.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of like manual looking at stuff, and you know, trying to get all the shapes down, or there's so many ways to do it, and there's so many ways it could not look good. So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
but yeah, my favorite part is probably like, I don't know, I like compositing everything. Like once I have all the elements together and trying to match all the colors, like that's when it really starts to come together, and I think that's one of my favorite parts. Mhm.
Yeah, I can say the same also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it looks more complete at that point. But I like working in 3D too, like getting renders together and doing lighting and stuff. Yeah, 3D is a lot of fun.
So while we're going off that topic, what softwares do you mainly use? Like,
I use After Effects to composite everything, and I use Blender for all my 3D stuff. Trying to think of other stuff. I use Photoshop for all my 2D image editing needs. And yeah, that's really all I use for like visual effects stuff. But like music stuff, I use Adobe Audition, and to like arrange things, and then GarageBand to just put individual things together, and then Premiere for video editing stuff.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen like bits of like Blender, like I said. I mean, I tried like a little bit of it. It's actually really impressive, like the way you like start out for like visual effects.
Oh yeah, like it's really hard to use at first. And
Yes,
it's like
it was complicated for me when I first used it.
it's very alienating because like it makes you use right click select as for like the default instead of like left click selecting things, and that's like a huge thing that throws everybody off. But I actually like changed the layout like, manually to like make it left click select, so I started to like clear that up, and after like a year or two of using that, I just like got in the groove, and I realized how useful it could be, and versus like Cinema 4D, which is what I was using before. And I felt it wasn't really like suiting my needs for visual effects stuff, like with projection mapping and just other little things like with rendering. When it comes to rendering stuff, like Cycles is a really good renderer. So that yeah, Blender's like really great for, especially because it's free.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Right.
That's the bright side.
Yeah.
So how did the whole story with like you get involved with Film Riot? Like on a couple episodes and a couple of their big projects.
Yeah. So it started when I was just on Twitter, I think, and I saw that Ryan posted an announcement on his personal Twitter. It said he was looking for visual effects artists, and I'm like, hey, I'm trying to do that. That's what I'm.
Oh, I think I
trying
know what
to
you're
go.
talking about. It's like when he had the Thor episode. Is that where?
Yeah. It's well.
Oh, like no.
Yeah, he did have that episode. But he was. I think he was looking for visual effects artists for. Oh gosh, why am I blanking? What's the one before Ballistic? Sentinel. I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I blanked on that. I can't believe that.
Oh yeah, I was waiting for that. True.
Yeah. So, I guess it was for that. I don't really know the full context because I've been like busy. I was at college. I was going to Bowling Green, and I was like in my dorm room, and but I saw that he put that out that announcement. I was like, I can't not go for this. Whenever I see something like that, I always have to like at least try and reach out and send an email because you never know where that can take you. One of my biggest clients actually came from me doing that. And like I'm getting regular work from him for I've been doing that for like 3 years now, and it's been a really great relationship. So I knew I had to keep doing stuff like that and reaching out and networking. So I was just lucky enough to like see that post at that time, and I sent him an email, sent him my reel, and he messaged me back, and he said he liked it. So we started working together, and it was the rest is history.
That's awesome for you, man.
Yeah, it was really good.
Like I remember, like every Film Riot episode I watched, like they're the one that pretty much inspired me for filmmaking to become like a director that I'm trying to get in college.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've been watching them since probably like 2011 or 2012.
Yeah, me too. Also, somewhere around there.
Yeah, like I remember like watching their old episodes and like when all their older shorts came out. I remember watching them as they were like fresh off the release. So yeah, I've been a long time fan of them, and I'm sort of following them over the years. But it's been less and less because I've been trying to specialize in visual effects more. So I'm looking into like the nitty gritty details of technical things, which like Film Riot doesn't really cover all that because that's kind of just a lot and it's not really approachable.
Yeah,
yeah. But yeah, it's been good. I mean, like I'm trying to do more with them just because I've been so busy with like other freelance work, and I'm trying to like sort of build a business with what I'm doing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like doing like this everything. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So
sort of like.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead.
All right. So, like, what is your like favorite VFX effect, and what is your first one, like all the way down for your journey?
Like the first one I tried out.
Yeah, first one you try out, and then how it progresses. Because I know, like, even when I started, mine wasn't that good, to be honest. It was like when I started learning the software a lot more.
Yeah. I think the first time I tried to like do an effect was like it was a long time ago. I was using my like old family home computer, and I told my mom or my sister or somebody to record me with a lightsaber like spinning around, and I made sure to grab a green lightsaber because I was like in my head I thought, okay, I have a great idea. Like if the lightsaber's green, I can use a green screen effect to like key it out and make it white or something to make it look like it's glowing. I'm like, I'm so excited, it's gonna work so great. And I got that video into this old program. I think it was called Wax 2.0. It was this weird free software. It was really not very good, like kind of crappy. But I pulled it in there and I followed a tutorial on how to like key something out. It didn't really work though. So that was like my first ever try at doing some sort of effect, was just that lightsaber thing. And then like a year or two later, I just started to like Photoshop things. We had an old version of Photoshop on the computer. So it was like editing still images was the new thing. And I got I got a few of those done. They looked pretty neat to me. I made some things glow, a lot of glowing things is what I made. Then yeah, a few years after that, I finally got like my own laptop, which was not like as like it's not as old as the family computer we had, so it was a big upgrade for me. So I could actually like try new things with new software that was more powerful. So I like got the old version of After Effects on there, and I started doing explosions and fire compositing on the shots and like motion tracking things. And yeah, like a year after that, I started doing 3D stuff, and it didn't look very good, but I tried to keep going with that. And I just got better and better, and tried to refine my skills over time. So I think it's gotten to a point where I can sort of market myself on that.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. I
yeah,
feel like that's how. Actually, that's actually a funny story about the lightsaber thing. I think that was the first time I actually tried doing a visual effect.
really.
Was a lightsaber, yeah. It
I think
didn't
that's a
go.
lot of people's first effect.
Yeah, a lot. That's what I find funny. Like that's a lot of people how they start off with a lightsaber mostly, but like
Mhm.
that's awesome. I feel like that's the same. Also, like once you have like more experience of the work that you're trying to do, then you progresses all the way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Do you know about Corridor Digital? Do you watch their
Yeah, yeah,
videos at
yeah,
all? Or?
yeah. I know
Yeah,
them.
they were like a huge inspiration of me. That's what really like kicked it up a notch for me. Like watching their videos back in high school, I was like, I want to do this for the rest of my life. And they're still like a really huge inspiration, just because like the quality of the work they do and the amount of time they do it, and like on the budget that they have, it's just really impressive. Um, to this day, like even their old stuff looks really great. So I've always like aspired to be as good as them. So that's what's kept me going um
Nice.
through all
Nice.
this stuff.
Now we're going off that. Do you have
Mhm.
like any advice for like people out there like trying to become like a star in visual effects artists?
Um, I would just say do what you want to do. Like just especially if you're in high school, you're young and you have more time than you think that you have.
Yeah.
uh, like use every spare moment that you can to just try and make things that you want to make. So if you see something online that inspires you, just like try and recreate it. That's what I did with all the Corridor Digital stuff. I saw them working with like a 3D program, and I thought, hey, I want to like put this fake thing into this real life piece of footage. So I went and I got a camera and I shot something and I tried to make that work. And um, yeah, just like if you see something that inspires you, just try and try and make that happen on your own.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Mhm.
So like even like putting like a demo reel, what would be like the like a good way to like start off like with a good demo reel?
um well, you got to have a good amount of work to start off with. So I think my first demo reel, uh I think it's always been like starting out with a Minecraft type VFX shot, which is kind of funny because like Minecraft is kind of a kids game, or like it has that sort of connotation. Uh, so yeah, but like you just have to get like a body of work for a reel, and start off the reel with something impressive looking. Make sure the reel isn't too long, like a minute, minute and a half, 2 minutes maybe. Um, and just like start it with something like one of your best shots, maybe your best shot, and then at the end, like end it with something that is one of your best shots. I don't know, you know. But I really, whenever I'm like trying to like figure stuff out like that, like timing for a reel, how long it should be, I've always just like Googled it,
Yeah.
and then I always get like a Reddit result or something where like they're talking on the VFX forum on there. And there's guys that are like, don't make your reel too long because we won't look at it when we're trying to hire people. So I always like try to keep that in mind when I'm putting together my reels.
Yeah. So what was it like being part of like those bigger projects like for Film Riot, like the like the ballistic and central and like us up? What were your reaction like when you first got the news?
It was really great. Brian is like a really, really nice guy, and he's a great communicator, a great collaborator. So it was really cool to like finally be able to talk to him after like seeing him on these videos over the years, and kind of like learning from him and the team, and actually like getting to talk to him. It was pretty interesting. I was nervous the first time, quite a bit. um but yeah, he's really great. And working with the team is really nice. Like everybody's really cool. Josh is really cool. Everybody over there. But yeah, the bigger projects, it's fun. Like what we had for like the visual effects on like Ballistic, for example, there's like a giant spreadsheet that manages all the shots, so it has like everything listed out. This is after they have like the cut pretty much in place. So at that point, they just like label each shot that needs to be done, and then that gets assigned to one of the people. So we have a team of a few visual effects artists, like Ryan Thompson's another one that got brought on around the same time that I did, I think. So we kind of like divvy the tasks up there, and yeah, swap the tasks if needed. So if I need to work on a different shot, I can work on a different shot. If I can't do a shot for some reason, that can be transferred to somebody else. So that's how we like managed those bigger projects. It's just like having a spreadsheet that we can all look at. But yeah, it's pretty fun. It's kind of the same as working on a small project almost. It's just there's more work in the same like big project. Mm-hmm.
So, this is a bit of a fun question. What's your favorite visual effects in a movie?
In a movie? That is a good question. I don't really know, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. There's so many movies out there now.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of one that like really got to me or really stuck out to me. I don't know. I feel like when I saw Gravity, which I know some people don't really think it's a great movie because it's kind of like not very realistic or something. You know, that doesn't matter to me. I don't know. But I always thought it was cool, like because I learned how they did like the lighting for those scenes, because a lot of that stuff was CG. So like their space suits were CG, the stars, whatever. But when they like filmed the faces that were going to be in the spacesuits, like they used this crazy 3D lighting rig, which had like light panels that like had like the environment map on them, and it made like realistic proper lighting on their faces, and that stuck out to me when I was like starting out, especially like just thinking about how light works and like the physics of light, and how that's so crucial for doing anything in visual effects, is just figuring out like real world physics and applying that in the computer.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So do you have anyone that inspired you?
Corridor Digital.
Corridor Digital, okay. Yeah.
That's like the main thing. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're just awesome.
Really great
group,
stuff.
Honestly. They honestly post like a lot of good stuff. I've seen like a lot of their work. I remember like that in Film Riot also going back and forth. I just love Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any like future plans for 2019? If you can say, if you cannot, then it's okay.
I'm just trying to keep it going over here with my little business that I'm trying to keep running. Yeah. That's really my only main plan. Like, I'm still living at home. I might try to move out at some point. Probably not this year. Maybe next year. Maybe the year after that. I don't know about that. But yeah, just trying to stay afloat with my business and make enough profit to like keep doing it, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of awesome. Like you're again doing your own business and that kind of stuff, and like go on to other stuff. That's really awesome, dude.
It's because I have to pay taxes too. That's another thing I got to worry about.
Yeah, true.
Because you don't really have insurance when you're working as a freelancer, so or like they don't withhold anything for taxes, or I don't withhold any of my income for taxes, so I had to like figure all that out and make sure I pay everything on time, and I don't go to jail for not paying taxes. So I have to, yeah, that's another thing I gotta consider when like trying to make this business work over the years.
Yeah. So you also do I saw again off of YouTube your music collection that you do.
All the mashup albums.
Yeah, mashup. Yeah. So what inspired you to like do that?
Um, do you know about Neil Ciceria? Do you know the Mouth albums that he does?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. So
Okay.
he's like, I'm basically like drawing all my inspiration for those projects from those albums. Um, like I do my own thing to an extent. Like I use the same structure and style of the way that Neil did his albums, and I try to use like transitions between a lot of the tracks, and like thematic transitions and placement of the tracks, so like it would all kind of flow together. I really loved how Neil did that, and when he released his most recent one, which is Mouth Moods, that one like really got me, and I was like, okay, I gotta like start making some mashups of my own. So I put together the first album, which doesn't really sound that great to me anymore, just because the mixing is kind of off. But I did that for a school project too, so that was my final for high school. And that worked out pretty well. I got a good grade for that.
Nice.
Um, yeah. Then I decided I wanted to do more, so I did Misheard, which is the second one. And that turned out a lot better. I'm really proud of that one still. And I got to figure out a third one. I don't know what it's going to be called, but yeah, I just really liked making the mashups and trying to think of funny combinations that like aren't too annoying, but like still have like a funny redeeming quality or like sound cool in some way.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like honestly, like the work that you do on YouTube for that is just amazing. Honestly, like it's like your own different like feel, which I like, and that's why I listened to it while I made the questions in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, those projects are super fun, and I love doing those.
Yeah, I'll keep eye on the third one or any other work that you do, of course.
Thanks, man.
It's just amazing.
Yeah.
So, what's your advice about like getting noticed out there as a visual effects artist?
I don't have very good advice about that because I'm not very good at that.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of the great opportunities that I've had to like work with people, they've all kind of been presented to me like out of the blue. Like scrolling through social media a lot. That's how I got like in touch with Ryan. That's how I got in touch with my other client that I work with a lot. Yeah, like they literally specifically called out for visual effects artists. So whenever I see that now, I'm trying to like send them an email and get in contact. But yeah, other than that, like I don't really have great advice. I think it just involves a lot of what's the word? Networking, which is something I'm not very good at. And my parents kind of are nagging me about. They're like, "You need to be better at this. You need to reach out more." And I'm just like, "Well, yeah, I feel like they tell you to reach out, but it's like, why am I reaching out? Like, do I want to ask for a job, or am I asking like, do you need help with anything? I can help. I'm a visual effects guy." So I'm still learning that myself. I'm still learning how to really market myself as a visual effects artist.
Yeah, that's like also like networking. Yeah, definitely. I'm not good with that either, man. So I'm gonna say both of you.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite part about creating something like 3 miles? Like,
I think the best part is just like trying to find out what. Well, a lot of the work I do now is for clients, so it's like it's nice to be able to like take a little bit of their input and then start something and then come up with something that looks good and that you can present to them, and then like seeing how that evolves over time. So you're proud of the first thing, you send that over, say how does this look, and then they either say like, oh, it's great, like just send me the final now, or like it keeps going and you keep iterating on that. So yeah, what was the question again?
So like, what's your favorite part creating something?
I'd say just like watching it become more refined over time. That's probably my favorite part. of it.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like when you're creating something. It's like, well, how do I compare it to? It's like a child, but it's like you know, we want to make it good for everyone to see. That
Yeah.
I don't know why I compare it to a child, but I mean it's
you gotta teach it.
Yeah, teach it. Yeah. So, what is one of your favorite projects you did for a client?
Um, I don't know actually. Well, there's one that I'm working on that's kind of like it's kind of on hold that I can't talk about yet.
Oh yeah, okay. Good.
It's been a lot of fun. It's like a really big project, but it's in a weird spot and it started out in a weird way. Hopefully someday I'll be able to like show it in a reel. But I worked on it like for the last like quarter of 2018, so it took up like all my time. Then that's why I haven't been on Film Riot or anything, and I only recently had the time to tell Ryan that like I've been absent because I've been working on something really big. So that's one thing. And yeah, I've been really proud of that. But I don't know. I like working on. I like anything that I do in like 3D. When I get to incorporate 3D stuff into my client work, that's like the best thing for me because I love working in 3D and getting that stuff in there.
Nice.
Mhm.
So this is the last part. This is a fun one for you. You get to ask the question for me. What you want to know from me?
Okay. So like see, are you in college right now?
Yeah, I'm in college. Yeah.
Okay. And this is your freshman year or?
Yeah, like freshman year. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's because I quit college. I didn't like it very much.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So you're like in film school right now?
Yeah, I'm in film school. My school is like mostly like hands-on, but I gotta do all the main courses first.
Yeah,
and then I get
that's the tough part.
It's like just give me the film classes.
So you don't have like any film classes, or do you have to do all academics first?
Like it's like they kind of get academics done first,
mm-hmm.
and then you get to like spend mostly like your course at the school, like just focus on like film classes, which I'm really hyped for.
Yeah, I went to like a trade school for my last year of high school, and that was actually my ideal college experience, even though it was high school. Like it just like it freed me up so much because we got to spend so much time in like the like film like classes or like it's digital media, it's not film, but
Yeah.
yeah, we got to spend a lot of time in there, and like academics were super easy. They were like a piece of cake compared to like the high school that I used to go to.
I can feel the same also.
Oh yeah. So yeah, it was great, and I liked going to college. I only stopped going because I thought it like wasn't really suiting for me because going for a digital media degree, which is basically just like an art degree where you go to art classes and learn about art. Like I kind of like got a feel of the teachers and stuff, and I thought this isn't really what I want to do because there's a lot of people who are just artists there that are kind of making sculptures out of like foam and like things. Like I didn't really like all that stuff. I thought some of it was a little pretentious for me, and so we thought like it was kind of not really worth the money. So that's why I dropped out. But like if you're going for actually like a film thing, and if you feel like you're learning something, I feel like college is totally worth it at that point. But yeah, that's why I decided to leave. But
yeah, I know what you mean, man. It's like I gotta go through the academics, then I'll get my film class, and then I finally get to learn film, which I've been wanting to go there for. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like, well, now I kind of have the, the test, and I'm obviously I can't keep going. But it's now it's like my academics are so easy. I could just give me the film classes. Like,
Right.
Yeah. And plus,
do you have like personal projects you're doing, or?
Yeah, so like I have a music making class for films.
Okay.
So we kind of like rap movies and that kind of stuff. We kind of like make like a music to it and then try to like connect it and see how it goes.
Oh, that's cool.
We have to do that for the final project also. And then I had a script writing class where you just had to write a script, and the exam was the script.
Huh.
And you were timed for it. You just yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, you were timed for it. You had to make sure like all the spelling's good, all the grammar's good. If it's yeah.
That's fun.
And then I worked like I go to college and I work at the same time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was doing that for a while. I worked at a retail store, so I worked at Michael's, which is like a craft store. Before that, I worked at like another teacher supply store, but I stopped doing that because I got some hefty client work in, and I'm concerned that I might need to do that now because like I'm not getting as much client work. but like actually in the past like day or two, I've gotten some jobs, so it's going well. Yeah.
Yeah, I work at a movie theater. I'm the projectionist. I control.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I control all the projectors. But it basically runs itself, so I'm just sitting in the room, make sure nothing bad happens.
That's pretty ideal.
Yeah, so I sometimes like watch films or like create scripts or do college work mostly.
Yeah.
Or work on Ferra film projects.
Is it like mostly digital now?
Yeah, it's mostly digital. So like it's run off a computer, and the computer kind of like it's all scheduling. So wherever the computer schedule it, it kind of automatically plays a projector for me. That's how it goes. Yeah, which is like film is not even film now. It's just like a little box, like little like hard drive you just insert into the computer and then it downloads it. Which is really fascinating because I saw like the older ones stuff and they actually run on like a wheel, and the new ones just do it all digitally.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I like it. I do that college and then mostly Ferra films if I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, I need to check out more of your channel. I didn't get a really get a chance yet to like look at what you're doing there.
Oh yeah,
I saw that you did one of these podcasts with Todd though.
Yeah, Todd. Yeah, I had Todd came in. I had Shotlist also came in. Zach, he's the one that like sponsors my whole channel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm basically gonna be like my goal like for 2019 is to make Ferra film like bigger, like kind of make it to like a filmmaking because I want to inspire everyone else. Plus with these podcasts,
that's cool.
Yeah, so there's gonna be more content on the Ferra Film channel.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll have to subscribe to you.
Yo, thanks, man. I already subscribed to you.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Yeah. So it was really awesome to have you on the podcast, by the way. That includes...
Sure. Yeah, it's great being here.